Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Hip Horse. I'm Tommy D. I'm along with Johnny Lowe. We're talking a big race today. We got the Haskel from Monmouth. It's for 3-year-olds going a mile and an eighth. Always a big race at Monmouth, probably the biggest race they got going on. And what a great card they got there. 6 stakes races, Johnny. What a card at Monmouth today. But we're going to talk about the Haskel. Your thoughts here about the Haskel?
Yeah, I feel like there's a couple questions for some horses that two in particular that are really horses that are on the bubble of whether they're going to be favored in the Kentucky Derby or whether they're going to drop back in the pack. I think both horses will probably run in the Kentucky Derby, but these two in particular, Dr. Post, who just ran second to Tiz the Law, and Authentic, who just ran second to Honor AP after he beat Honor AP. I think these two horses are horses that people are really looking out for right now, and they're on everybody's radar, and it's, are they going to take a step forward in the Haskell or are they not? And I think Saturday is going to definitely be a good day for us to see whether these horses can do it, will do it, what they'll show. And with the future wagers this weekend, I think that after this, it might answer some questions for some people about who they'd like to bet on for that race on the 5th of September.
Yeah, Johnny, I agree with you. This is going to be an exciting one. We got 2 top candidates for the Derby here, Dr. Post and Authentic. And we're looking at 2 of the top trainers in the game for many years, Todd Pletcher and Bob Baffer. So I'm anxious to watch this race. I don't see too many other horses in the race that could compete with these two. I could see it a 2-horse race. I don't know your thoughts about it.
Yeah, so when I look at this race, I see it's the mile and an eighth, 2-turn, grade 1 event, and I think a lot of times these races will have the telltales by the pedigrees. And so when I did my pedigree research on this race, 6 out of the last 10 years, it's been Mr. Prospector on top, Outcross to Something on the bottom. We've had Maximum Security, Good Magic, Exaggerator, American Pharaoh, Coil, Looking at Lucky. All these horses have won the race in the last 10 years. There's only been one horse that's a Stormcat line, and that's Gervin. And Gervin won by a nose over McCracken 3 years back. It was a very exciting race. That's the line Authentic is. So Authentic in the last 10 years, they're shooting 10% with his line. With Dr. Post line, they're shooting 60%. So for me, I think I'm going to take Dr. Post. I think that we're going to see if he's better with 2 turns than he is with 1 turn. His only 2-turn race ran really well. He won a mile and a 16th. He ran it in 1 minute and 43. He had some trouble in that race. I think he's maturing. He's not as green. Authentic, on the other hand, is still kind of showing not really switching leads right. He's still kind of green to me. His last race, he had some trouble, still drifted in a little bit. I think he's really going to need to mature fastly and put this together if he's going to be able to keep up with Dr. Post in this mile and an eighth contest. The outside horse, NY Traffic, is probably on a lot of people's radars. He's the third choice, and I think he's the only other real obvious horse in the race that has any chance of competing with the top 2. But the one thing I don't really like about him is he's by Cross Traffic, who's by Unbridled Song, and he's out of a Graham Hall mare. Graham Hall is the Mr. Prospector line as well. So I think that he might like 1 turn, actually. I think at some point the trainers might decide to cut him back to 1 turn, and I think that's going to be the best distances for him. He lost to Maxfield last time going a mile and a 16th at Churchill Downs by a length. Wells Bayou by a length and a half. He ran 3rd in the Risen Star in the Modernist, Major Fed, whatever running of it. There was 2 different runnings of it. So he's held his own, but I think these 2 horses are going to outclass him tomorrow. And I'm going to go with Dr. Post over Authentic and see if Jersey Joe Bravo can get that big win for Todd Pletcher.
There we go. I like it. Yeah, just I totally agree with what you have to say. In the most part, New York Traffic, Joseph, all I could say is 21% stakes on 28 mounts. You get Paco Lopez. I think maybe that's the outside horse, but I agree with you. Dr. Post on Authentic. Dr. Post second in the Belmont last time behind Tiz the Law, which everyone considers to be the top contender for the Derby right now. Quality Road sire, as we know, that is a hot sire. Last year was on fire. This year it's still got great numbers. Todd Pletcher, and as you said, Joe Bravo, the leading rider at Monmouth. This guy knows that Monmouth course better than no other jockey out there. So I love the chances for Dr. Post. And you got to take a look at Authentic too, because, Bob Baffer, sending out there Mike Smith, this obviously the combo there. This horse won 3 out of its 4 starts. It's only lost coming to Honor AP. So, also a solid horse that was in the Santa Anita Derby. So, I like the chances here of Authentic at 4-5, but I'm with you. I like Dr. Post at 5-2. So I'm going to go with you 1 and 2. I like it in that order, and then the 7 underneath. But I see it as a 2-horse race. The Haskel might tell us a little bit more about the Derby picture. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people are hoping that Dr. Post can flatter that Belmont win by 'Tis the Law and give them hope for when the Travers comes around. I think a lot of people are going to hedge some fairly big bets on 'Tis the Law and the Travers, and you can see as the Derby pools are making them like 2-1 or 9-5. I think the last time I checked, a lot of people want to try to hedge as many bets on that horse as they can all the way down to the Run for the Roses. So for a lot of these people, if Dr. Post comes out and he dominates and he holds off Authentic and beats him to the line, I think that's going to validate a lot of their concerns with anything they have with the class of 'Tis the Law and the company that he's ran against. On the flip side, if Authentic is able to pull this off and win this race, that really flatters the people backing Honor AP, and it flatters the people that are backing Authentic as well. West Coast racing is really good. Rushy just came back and ran 3rd in the Bluegrass. So it's not like the class is much of a question here for Authentic either. I think these 2 horses are kind of the bulls right now, and at the level that the Haskel is, I think that they both have a little something to prove. And even though it's a 2-horse race and the odds might not be the best, I think that they have broader effects as far as the Derby picture does go, because it's going to tell you who the class is, the horses on the East Coast or the horses on the West Coast.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing I got to say is I kind of feel bad for my man DVD, that straight in Van Dyke, losing the mount once again to Mike Smith for Bob Baffer. I don't know if DVD would have traveled during the Corona, but Mike Smith gets another mount, and that's probably the guy you want on board here, Authentic. Has done it before for Mike Smith, for Bob Baffer. And expect to do it again. So Authentic, Dr. Post, it's going to be a good one, man. I like Dr. Post over Authentic. I'm with you. What about any other races on this card? I mean, there's 6 stakes races at Monmouth. It's going to be a great day. Lots of racing. Anything that maybe caught your eye?
One more thing about healthy Mike Smith, as we'll call him, because the entire jockey colony out here is testing positive for COVID, unfortunately. Obviously, the races got shut down this weekend. But not Mike Smith. He somehow Money Mike escaped it,
Superman.
So he could fly out east to ride in these nice purse races. And the best part about it is, if you're a jockey in New York, you have to stay. Like you can't leave and come back. If you're a jockey out here in California, you can't leave and come back unless you're Money Mike Smith, who's allowed to go out to Monmouth while we're not running here.
Mm-hmm.
And then fly back out, and he's going to be eligible for races at Del Mar. I mean, the guy's incredible. I don't know how he's pulling this off, but good for him.
Hall of Famer.
His agent needs a promotion. So yeah, I another race that I'm kind of interested in, I think are going to be really good odds, are going to be the 10th race, the Grade 3 Monmouth Cup. The Monmouth Cup last year was won by a horse named Name Changer. And Name Changer is by War Story. 2 years ago, it was Name Changer. But Name Changer was an interesting horse. He's by Uncle Mo. He's got a really good pedigree. And he shows up in some of the running lines for some of these other horses. For example, Senior Investment, 2 races back, he beat a horse by 5 lengths named Name Changer. And I think that if you watch that race, you can really see the potential of Senior Investment. He's got a beautiful stride. I don't know what changed since the $50,000 claim. He had a couple races. His only 2 bad races were muddy and sloppy tracks. Yep. And other than that, I mean, he's really ran well. Whatever Scott Lake's doing with this horse, maybe he's got a psychologist in the barn. I have no idea. But he's turned this horse around, and I think if they keep sending the horse towards the front, he gets really brave on the front end. And if you see in his past history, he was always like that deep rear running closer. And Scott Lake's got him going more towards the front. And I think at 10-1, he's definitely my horse that I'm going to keep an eye on. Discreetly Mine is already sired a horse named Discreet Lover, who was a huge upset a couple years ago in a big race back east as well. And I think if he stays around 10-1, it's probably a solid investment. And I'm going to give another chance to Global Campaign. They're going to go blinkers off for this horse for the first time. He's 4 for 7. He's by Curlin out of Globetrot, who's a really, really good broodmare. And his last race, it was a mile at Churchill Downs. I think he wants a little bit more distance. That Owendale Everfast Silver Dust, I mean, these aren't cheap claimers. These are really nice horses that he ran against. He was in the 2-hole in a 12-horse field. He broke terribly. He was way behind the entire race, and I think they just kind of threw in the towel. He was outmatched against a little bit older company, and with that bad break, it was game over. So I think at 10-1 and 9-2, those are a couple plays that I would look at today.
Yeah, nice call there. I kind of agree with you. Senior investment, you throw out that muddy conditions, and this horse won 3 in a row pretty nicely. So definitely one I like that price at 10-1. And then Global Campaign won 4 out of 7 career starts, like you said. WinStar's the owners here. Got to like to see that. 9-2. We're going to take a chance here in race 10. Maybe one other race that I took a look at was race 11, United Nations, grade 1. This one seemed to be wide open too, Johnny. Couple horses that I just wanted to talk about real quick. Number 5 is Aquaphobia. This horse is facing tougher in its last few races. A mile and a 16th last time. It's going to be adding some distance here. You got Maker and our man Joe Bravo again, 9-2 there. That's one that I thought had a very good shot here. That's 5, Aquaphobia. And then 2, standard deviation. 3-1. It was bet 3-1 off the bench last time. Has a closing running style. There's 3rd in the Hollywood Derby, so the class is there. 7-2 there. Just maybe a couple I would take a look at. That's the 5, Aquaphobia, and the 2, standard deviation. That's race 11, United Nations, grade 1, Johnny. Anything else you want to throw in the mix here before we get out of here? Monmouth Day, six stakes races. We talked about 3 of them briefly, but the Haskel's the main feature here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great day. And if the current trends continue, Del Mar opening day up 3% over last year. Saratoga, I think they're up like 5%. They're up millions in betting money. Hopefully this continues at Haskel, and somebody out there get their Haskel day at Monmouth, and somebody out there gets lucky and hits one of these enormous purses. I think there's going to be fresh flowing money out there, especially with limited options. With Del Mar being down, Saratoga and Monmouth are pretty much the big games in town. And I just want to see some big payoffs and some big numbers, and hopefully everybody gets lucky out there and hit horse land, and maybe one of our long shots comes in and helps somebody with one of their tickets.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're here for you guys, trying to help you guys out. Well, yeah, we're playing along too, but we're giving out some information to you. Hopefully you can connect on some of these. And like you said, Monmouth, Saratoga, without Del Mar, it's going the numbers should go up a little bit, because Del Mar, it's pretty big in the summertime playing. Saratoga's just been off the chart with just bombs coming in. So if you're playing Saratoga and you're connecting, good job. If you got anything you want to say, throw it down in the comments. Let us know who you like in here. Also hit that like and subscribe button. We got more videos coming for you real soon. We're following the Derby Trail and graded stakes races. We love the game, and we're here for you. The Hip Horse. I'm Tommy D. Johnny Lowe. We'll catch you next time.